What is going on, everybody? We are back. It's been so long since I made a video, and I thought about it every single weekend. I promise you, I thought about doing it every single weekend. I just could not do it. I had the busiest summer of my life. I moved houses. I've traveled to like 7 different cities in the last 2 months. Some was for work, some was for vacation, and some was for car shows. Honestly, I just didn't get time to record anything, and I just wanted to spend any off days I have just relaxing, you know, driving the car, enjoying it, going to car shows and stuff like that. So I'll throw some pictures here of doing the summer when I was out and about. I took the Z to 3 big car shows. They were all for Driven. It was the Driven car show in Canada here. I took it to Alberta. I went to Edmonton. I went to Saskatoon and Saskatchewan, and then I did my hometown, Regina, Saskatchewan, where your boy won Best in Show Nissan, which was crazy. You know, doing all of this work last winter that you guys saw me do, succeeding, it working out great, that I was able to take my car to these shows and whatnot. It meant a lot, and when I won that award, it really it was something. That was probably one of my biggest accomplishments. That meant a lot to me. So that was huge. I was super pumped about that. Anyways, we're back at it. Apologize for not making any videos, but you know, now that the winter is coming, like last winter, I was putting out videos pretty much every 2 weeks or every month. So hopefully I can get back into that now that my work is slowing down and I'm settled into the new house and everything. So right now we're at my garage here, not at home, but during the winter time, I have a heated garage at home now. It's a little bigger, so I'm probably going to be parking the Z there in the winter time so I can do work. I have a couple little things to do still. I want to change my rear brakes, and there's something else I needed to do, but I'll figure that out later. My rear brakes, and I still have to put the air conditioning system back in this car. As you probably know from my last videos, if you've been watching all my videos, I didn't put the AC in this car. I was just trying to get it dialed in and ready for the summer, and I didn't want to spend any more time figuring out the AC thing. So it wasn't a huge deal for me. I just left it, and I'll probably get to that this winter sometime. So those videos will be coming up. Those I can record from my house. That little turd back there, if you guys have watched my other videos, that's my 1990 Mazda RX-7 Turbo 2, my barn find. Haven't touched that yet. That's going to be coming up next as well. That's going to stay at this shop here because I can't really drive it yet. So that whole thing, I'm going to try to rebuild it completely this winter and get it running and looking pristine. But that's not what this video is about. This video is pretty much just to show you guys I'm alive, and I wanted to answer some questions, and I know a lot of people are curious about how I did this and how much I spent and what parts I used. I did highlight most of that in the build videos while I was boosting this car, but I'm gonna go in depth right now and give you guys exact costs and tell you how much it's gonna cost to do something like this. Keep in mind, you can spend a lot more doing this. You can spend a lot less. I'm just gonna tell you about my build, and then you can take it from there. So I got a list right here. I'm gonna go through that. I'm gonna set up the tripod in a second here, and we're gonna get comfy and have a chat about how much I spent on this car, which seems like it's just more and more every winter, but that's okay. I love this thing. For those of you that just hopped on my videos right now, and this is one of the first videos you're watching, this is my 1990 Nissan 300ZX. It was a NA motor. Last winter, I boosted it. It's tuned for E85. She's been great for me this summer. So it was my first time doing anything like this. I've only done minor car stuff in my life, but I did want to take on this challenge and learn everything I could about this car and try boosting it myself, and I successfully did that, and it looks good as well. If you want to check out all those videos, check out my channel. It's all there. They're not really how-to videos because, like I said, this was my first time doing it. I didn't want to teach someone how to do something. I was learning as I went. So if you want to just check out some Z32 content, yeah, you'll see a video of me pulling the engine out, doing everything, putting it back in, doing everything, and you know what it is. So anyways, let's get right into it. I'll tell you guys how much dough I had to spend on this. Okay, so I tried to make a very detailed list and think about everything I did. I might be forgetting something. All the prices I'm gonna give you guys are gonna be in US dollars because I know 90% of the guys that watch my channel are in the US. So US dollars is going to be the currency for all of these, okay? So the first thing obviously I needed was turbos. I picked up some used OEM turbos and I had them rebuilt because I didn't want to do all this work again in case the turbos were bad. So that cost me about $1,600 US. That's the price of the turbos and the price to get them rebuilt. They weren't rebuilt with just the seals and everything. It was actually the central housing, the center housing, the CHRA that was replaced. So it's basically a brand new turbo. So that was $1,600. I needed a twin turbo fan shroud and I needed a twin turbo AC condenser. Those were both purchased used, which cost me $220. I bought a Z1 silicone hose set for all the hoses. That cost me about $245. Keep in mind, all of my shopping that I did online at Concept Z or Z1 Motorsports, I basically bought it all at different times whenever they had sales and whenever the sales had parts that I needed. So I bought this over the course of the year, and all these prices are probably cheaper than what's online right now, but because I was shopping on Labor Day, Black Friday, random sales like that. So Z1 silicone hose set was $245. And then I also bought some miscellaneous silicone hoses that weren't included in the kit. So those extra miscellaneous silicone hoses cost me about $228. I just wanted to change all the rubber hoses to silicone, so that's why I did that. Keep in mind, you don't have to do all these things that I did to boost your car. I did it because I just wanted a car that's great for years, and honestly, while I had everything out and accessible, I wanted to do as much as I could, okay? So just keep that in mind. Next, I have Z1 side mount intercoolers, twin turbo oil pan, Nismo 740cc fuel injectors, and a 300-degree fuel rail. I spent $1,200 on those three things. I bought those locally here in Canada. It cost me about $1,200 for that. I also purchased Z1 hard pipes and blow-off valves. They came together in a kit, and that cost me $525. I have the Turbo Smart blow-off valves. I changed the motor mounts on this car. I have Z1 motor mounts for $160. I put a Z1 Street Performance clutch kit in it for $350. Flywheel I purchased locally from a friend. I think it was $200 Canadian. That's not included in here, but just off the top of my head, that's what I did for the flywheel. I also purchased a new OEM fuel pressure sending unit because my fuel pressure in my gauge wasn't working and I wanted to fix the one that's built into the car. So that cost me $135 and luckily fixed my issue. I'm running 3 gauges in this car. I have a boost controller / boost gauge, 2-in-1, AFR gauge, and an oil temperature gauge, and those 3 were $765. While I had the engine out, I also wanted to change my wiring harness, so that cost me $430 for the engine wiring harness. And I purchased a Concept Z aluminum radiator with the brackets for $250. I purchased some cheap Chinese downpipes and test pipes, which was $380. Those fit like crap, so I actually had to go to an exhaust shop, get them to do some cutting and welding to make those work, which cost me an additional $300 to make those work, which sucked, but whatever. I also put in 2.5-inch intercooler piping, which cost me $450. That was from Z1 Motorsports. I also purchased a power steering rebuild kit for $50. The power steering pump in this car was leaking. It's not leaking anymore after I rebuilt it, so that is great. I changed all of the fuel lines in the car. I also changed all of the fuel clamps. They had the old style clamps. I put the new style double spring clamps in there. For those of you that know what I'm talking about, they're the newer Nissan clamps. They're expensive. The fuel lines and clamps cost me about $140. I think it's worth it to have good fuel hoses and fuel clamps. The fuel hoses I used, I believe it was Gates Barricade, I'm pretty sure, which is top of the line fuel hose in my experience, so that's the fuel hose I used everywhere. I also had to upgrade my fuel pump, obviously, while boosting my car. So I got a Walbro 255 fuel pump with the install kit. That was fairly cheap, it was $84. I put in a new clutch fork and pivot ball, the one that the Nissan 350Z uses, so I did that. And I also put a stainless steel clutch line while I was there, so that cost me $140. I have a triple gauge A-pillar pod, that was $140 from Concept Z. And then the rest of it is pretty much just dress up stuff. So I purchased a Z-Spec dress up kit and PTU relocation kit. That was $380. That's for all the bolts and nuts and everything in the engine bay. Honestly, I don't even have most of that installed yet. I only have some of it installed. There's still some bolts that I can see that I need to change, which I will probably do in the winter. I just didn't get around to it. I also spent about $400 on miscellaneous dress up stuff. I know that may seem like a lot, but it's not, because the $400 went quick. This upper radiator cover or air guide, whatever it's called, from Concept Z was probably like almost $200. And I purchased something to cover like my coilovers on the shock towers, because I didn't want the green from my Tane coilovers to show, so I have a Z-Spec kit for that. I also bought some Z-Spec stuff for the cruise control. That cost me about $400 in miscellaneous dress up. I also have here about $300 for miscellaneous turbo parts and shipping costs. That's for stuff like my coolant lines. I purchased those from eBay. That's probably also including my oil feed and return lines. I got those from Concept Z. And you know, little things like that when you realize you're missing, you know, a small thing here and there and that you gotta order. So that's pretty much stuff like that. And then powder coating and painting cost me about $300 to $400. Only thing I powder coated was the plenum, which cost me about, how much did that cost me? I think that was about $150 to $200. And then just cans of paint for everything else, which was probably maybe, I don't know, 60 bucks in paint. And that also that twin turbo emblem, I don't think I included in this, but that twin turbo emblem, I bought that from Concept Z. That was actually pretty expensive. That's an OEM Nissan badge. That cost about $60, I want to say. So that's not included in here either. But so grand total, if my math is right, if it's not, I'm sure someone's going to correct it. But grand total I have is $9,172. for boosting my car and making it look this good. I did all the work myself, so there's no labor cost in this. So about $9,200 in parts, which is probably right around where it should be, I guess. That's it, boys. But you know, she looks good. I have no regrets at all. I would do it all over again. So there's other stuff I didn't include, like all these vacuum lines and everything. They're silicone as well. I purchased those halfway through my build. Every single vacuum line in here is silicone. I put in an Optima red top battery. That was a couple $100. You know, stuff like that. I didn't include every little thing, but she looks good. And she won me a car show award at a pretty big car show, which was awesome. That meant a lot to me, but I love this car, man. It's getting late in the season, so she's gonna be parked pretty soon, but I got to enjoy it for most of summer, which makes me happy. And she's holding up, man. Nothing leaked at all. I had one small leak. It was from my my transmission drain plug. I just didn't put some Teflon tape on it, so I fixed that. And that was the only thing that leaked. Fingers crossed nothing else leaks, but she's been doing good, man. The oil, the rear main seal, oil pan, I redid all of that and nothing has leaked so far, which is what I want to hear. My turbos, nothing leaks. And she runs good, starts on the first try, struggles. If it's parked for a few days, it struggles a little bit. Obviously that's the E85, but once it's going, so. And she still brakes next with the hood closed and open. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Sorry it took so long for me to do this. Hope you guys understand. Hopefully I got more stuff coming out. I got a video I got to make about this in a couple weeks about something else, but that's going to be the next one. And then you're going to start seeing some RX-7 content, because that thing back there needs some love. And I want to get that thing driving too. I love these cars, man. I'm enjoying it. And I'm going to continue enjoying it. I usually make posts on Instagram a lot more often than I make videos. Every car show I took it to, I had an Instagram post, made stories and stuff like that. So if you guys want to follow along, Instagram's right here. Yeah, give your boy a follow. But I hope you guys enjoyed that video. I just wanted to record something showing the full breakdown. I know a lot of people are curious about it. A lot of people have asked me that on Facebook and stuff like that, on Instagram. Feel free to DM me if you have questions. I like talking to everybody, so leave a comment, subscribe. That's all I got for you. Thanks so much for watching. I'll catch you guys soon. Peace.